Welcome back to Poultry TV, part of poultryproducer.com. Today we have Sam Krouse from MPS Egg Farms in Indiana and Daniel Leckie, the Executive Director of Hatch for Hunger. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
I know at the end of January during IPPE, an important conversation was convened with the American Egg Board, United Producers, and the Atlanta Food Bank, and Hatch Protein Secure Fighting Food Insecurity was an opportunity to celebrate a successful year of fighting hunger, especially in the face of avian influenza, inflation, and logistic challenges. So how was the IPP for you guys?
It was great, an opportunity as Hatch to come together with producers, stakeholders, really. When you look at industry, members, producers, food banks, and the media to really highlight what we would say is how do we get to a protein secure future? Paint the picture as to what hunger looks like in America today and the pivotal role that protein producers play in trying to fight the issue.
So what is Hatch, Daniel? Let's get some more details.
Yeah, so Hatch is a nonprofit. We're focused on really what we would say is changing lives through animal protein. We take that to heart, and every day we look through a lens of, how can we get more protein in the hands of people who need it, no matter what their circumstance is. We work with egg producers across the country. We started out with two egg producers, MPS Egg Farms and Roseacre Farms, who really help support us at a pantry level in Indiana, and now on a national level to food banks across the country. We've really gone from a regional nonprofit now to a national nonprofit. If you look at the numbers today, we're 23 states, 60 food banks, and just last year delivered 5.1 million dozen eggs to food banks and food pantries across the country, which equates to about 30 million two-egg meals to children, adults, and the elderly. And we're based here in Carmel, Indiana.
What about long-term goals for Hatch?
Yeah, so we just came out of our strategic planning process, our 5-year planning process, and our original goals were to achieve 100 million two-egg meals delivered by 2025. As we exit our 5-year planning process, we now have a bigger goal, a more audacious goal, I'd say, of 300 million meals a year by 2027, which would include eggs, beef, chicken, pork, dairy, etc. Other proteins that really help bring value to those who maybe can't get it or maybe need to supplement what they can purchase at a grocery store. And we're really looking to continue to build our partnerships in this space, in the animal protein space, as well as our partnerships with food banks. And we try and do that through a model of shared value that creates value for our protein producer partners could be sustainability through profitability or through advocacy or through alignment in the mission. But then that also, because of that, creates the sustainability at food banks and food pantries and creates change in local communities. And so our big goals, we hope, will create generational change in communities across this country.
So the IPPE is a premier event. What was the intention of your convening during that show with some of your stakeholders?
Yeah, so it's such a great show to have really the top together, especially in the poultry world. And so what we wanted to do was highlight really, I'd say, the sacrifice that some poultry producers gave, the belief in the mission. They were challenged by high path AI, inflation, many other challenges throughout this year, yet they gave more. They sold more to food banks. They supported Hatch in a way that they didn't have to. And so what we wanted to do was say, hey, if this industry is doing, can we get more people to come on board with us? Can we collaborate as a protein industry to bring more, meals, more nutritious meals, healthier opportunities? Again, no matter what the circumstance is for an individual in a community, and say, hey, we're here in Atlanta. We're going to have the Atlanta Community Food Bank talk about what is the issue? What does hunger look like? Really paint that picture, and then have the stakeholders up there from industry, from corporations, and then have the people in the room, our producers who support us, as well as the media who can help share the message of what we're doing and this idea of sustainably providing protein to those who need it. was really the idea of that event.
So I got a few questions for you, Sam. Can I get a brief background about your role with MPS first?
Absolutely. MPS Egg Farms is a sixth-generation family-owned and operated egg producer here based in Northeast Indiana. We've got farms in Indiana, Illinois, and Texas. My role here is actually as co-CEO along with my brother, Dan. Our dad retired at the end of the year last year, and we were excited to step into this role and be leading MPS together.
So as a leader, you got involved in Hatch. So how did you get involved with Hatch?
Yeah, like Danny mentioned, we were one of the very first companies that partnered with Hatch. And actually, it was my dad, our CEO at the time, who had a conversation with Jeff Simmons in 2013, first hatching the idea of Hatch, I guess. The idea then started with a nugget of, gosh, what if we owned chickens and actually produced eggs to support food banks? And I think my dad wisely talked Jeff out of that idea and into, hey, there are lots of producers with good hearts and eggs who want to get food into food pantries. And the idea just blossomed from them. Donating eggs around 2016, 2017, and have just grown steadily from then as the model has grown and our opportunity to collaborate has grown and Hatch's reach into food pantries has grown. It's been a great blossoming relationship that whole time.
So it's obvious you guys share the same vision. Why do you think this will move the needle?
I think the power of eggs and the power of protein for food insecure individuals can't be understated. I think, Danny has great passion for the power of 2 eggs and changing a life and changing a day. And I think that's so great. And I love cooking eggs with my son in the morning before he goes to school. And I want other people to be able to cook eggs with their kids before they go to school and replace some bad nutrition that can be present in food insecure diets and replace them with good high quality eggs that we're able to provide. There's so much potential there for those individuals that eggs can bring.
So when it comes to working to eliminate food insecurity, it's been a tough year for birds and in the egg business in general. Why have you maintained your commitment?
It's that belief in the power of eggs to change the lives of the people who need them. 2022 and the past few years might have been challenging for egg producers, but it was a lot harder for a lot of other people. And giving them the nutrition they need to continue to live the lives that they have to the fullest, and to continue to do that in every way we critical. Now, and Danny used the word sacrifice. I don't think we think of it as a sacrifice. It's an opportunity and it's a responsibility in some ways back to our community, and Hatch allows us to do that. So we're grateful for just the possibility to be able to help those people at scale, in a way that really serves a lot of different people in a big way.
So what do you hope to see in the years to come from your perspective?
We'd love to see Hatch grow. I'd love to see more egg producers partnering with Hatch. I think there's great opportunity in all corners of the country. We'll sing Hatch's praises to anybody who will listen, but just the ability to get more reliable sources of protein in more people's hands and reduce food insecurity with good, high quality nutrition everywhere. That's what we'd love to see happen.
So we'll have a bit of an open floor here. There's a few questions left. How do you see Hatch evolving in the coming years?
I think growing towards that mission, serving more people, pulling eggs from more giving, willing producers, and filling the plates of food insecure individuals all across the country.
Yeah, and I'll just add in, Sam, thanks for giving some color to that. You say 2 eggs changes a day, changes a life, right? And it is so true. And we look at how do we take that idea, and as we expand, we want to be on the forefront of nutrition education for those folks who maybe don't understand the benefits of what an egg can do for their morning, for their children, for their, elderly grandparent who can't get to the store to buy them, right? We want to get on the forefront of advocacy as well, to talk about the stewardship of an industry and what that means for everybody in this country. When you think about the stewardship of the land, the people, the consumer, right? The food. And then we want to get into additional proteins, right? So that's where we're looking to evolve, is this idea of advocacy, education, additional proteins as well as a nonprofit.
So do you think one of the challenges is getting people to know what you're doing or getting them involved?
Yeah, it's probably both. I think, we're not necessarily a traditional nonprofit in the way that we manage, our model. And I think that sometimes it takes some education just to allow producers to understand that we're not always looking for free product, right? We're willing to pay. Food bank, our partners are willing to pay. And the value that we bring is that we can get protein at a discount at or below the budgets of the food banks. Whereas today they're searching and they're scrapping and they're trying to find something that they can utilize to make that dollar go as far as they can. What we can do at Hatch and what we try to educate producers who work with us on is, hey, we can get this high quality protein, affordable protein into the hands of those who need it. And it allows the food bank dollars to go further. And it allows, the food banks to keep other nutritious foods on their menu as well. That's the impact, right? If they're having to pay full price for any protein, something else that's nutritious has to be removed. And so what Hatch has been able to do through our great partnerships is keep those proteins on the menu for the food banks, for the pantries, and help those dollars go further.
Are you looking for more partners? And if so, how can someone get involved?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for additional partners, whether it's you view Hatch as a strategic, giving vehicle or strategic delivery vehicle of that product, right? We're always looking for people who are aligned to what we're doing, who want to help create equitable access of protein across the entire country. Our focus just isn't in urban America. It's in rural America. It's everywhere. It's church pantries. It's big pantries. It's metro food banks and it's small, city food banks. So, what we can do is take this protein, producers, farmers who are naturally, apt to give. They naturally care about their communities. We can say, hey, we can help you strategically give that. We can help you make sure that if you're going to carve out time from your business, that it's utilized properly, that you're not going to give 1 month and not have a home the next month. We can help you find that path to that. And, we want people to join us in our shared value model. We want people to come alongside us who believe that animal protein is a strong tool in changing lives. And we want people who will help us create this generational change in communities. It's real. We talk about our children. It's important to us. There's a lot of intangibles that come along with, cooking meals, community, that togetherness. And there's also the idea that, we talk about it, but 2 eggs in the morning do change a day, right? They really do. And so we're looking for people who want to come alongside us and help us with that as we grow and expand and look forward.
Well, the website's hatchforhunger.com. Daniel, Leckie, Sam Krouse, thanks for everything that you're doing with Hatch.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.